So plenty of tournaments have been canceled recently due to the global pandemic. It's just not safe right now to have a bunch of sweaty dudes packed into a convention hall. But what if I told you one tournament said fuck it to health and safety guidelines and went ahead with the event anyway, and then tried to cover up the entire thing? One recent COD LAN said that they were going online, but footage leaked this past weekend of players at the event playing Call of Duty, and that's when everything exploded. So, what happened? Did the event organizers lie? Did players just not listen to instructions? It's a confusing story that I tried to get to the bottom of. Alright guys, you know what Don't At Me is. It's our YouTube news show where we break down the biggest stories from esports and streaming. And if you like that, I got good news for you. We're going even deeper now on Twitch. So tune in every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern for our talk show Clouded, and make sure you follow the channel so you know exactly when we go live. So back on July 31st, the American Gaming Network was supposed to host the AGN Call of Duty Indianapolis Open LAN event. It was being promoted as one of the biggest amateur COD events out there with a prize pool of $7,500. And to be clear, this tournament was not a part of Challengers League, which is the official semi-pro league of COD esports. AGN is a third-party tournament organizer who, according to their website, runs tournaments for Call of Duty, Valorant, and Rainbow Six Siege. Now, as you can imagine, with the world in the midst of a pandemic, having a bunch of sweaty dudes packed into a convention hall is not the best look. So on July 31st, the day the tournament was supposed to start, AGN decided to move the tournament online. Quote, after discussions with representatives from Activision, we are deciding to change the Indianapolis Open to be online only for health and safety concerns. Players are advised to participate in the tournament from their home location alone. We apologize for any inconvenience in which this may bring upon players, spectators, and organizations. We look forward to working with Activision for future events, end quote. This sentiment was repeated on August 1st by Jeffrey Elliott, who, according to AGN's website, is the CFO of the company. And while that sounds like the obvious and smart thing to do, the tournament allegedly continued as a LAN event later that same day. Those! Basically, what you just saw looks like that LAN event with a bunch of sweaty dudes packed into a convention hall. Exactly what AGN said they didn't want to happen. On top of that, another video surfaced that looks like a bunch of people packed into an Airbnb trying to continue playing the tournament online. Gage Cash, a co-founder of AGN who has a name that belongs in Mortal Kombat, distanced himself from the event and said that the Indy Open was to be played online, period. But according to a report from Dexterdo, there were allegedly AGN employees at the event, despite AGN saying they had nothing to do with it. People were even alleging that AGN only put out that original statement to hide from Activision Blizzard, who are the publishers of Call of Duty, the fact that this LAN event was still taking place. Now, this whole situation caught the attention of Dominique Gelineau, who's the general manager for the Toronto Ultra, a pro Call of Duty team competing in the Call of Duty League. She replied to a tweet with, quote, I reported everything to Activision Blizzard. Absolutely stupid, and I can't believe that they thought A, they'd get away with it, and B, be bold enough to post about it, end quote. Former MLG event organizer Adam Apicella even weighed in, calling the situation a disaster. I also reached out to Cash, Elliott, and multiple sponsors associated with the tournament. Cash told me that the narrative online is full of lies and isn't true, but didn't explain why that's the case. And Elliott just pointed me to a statement that AGN made after all of this controversy popped off. Quote, in order to preserve the competitive integrity of the online tournament, we have decided to postpone the second day of competition to next Sunday, August 9th, 2020. Due to an overwhelming amount of players away from home with the inability to play in a safe environment, we feel that this is the best way to ensure that everyone is competing safely and fairly the remainder of the tournament, end quote. Also, when I went back to gather more information on the Indy Open, AGN has deleted the page from their website. Now, even if players ignored AGN and Cash's statements that the tournament had been moved online, and even if AGN had nothing to do with this secret LAN tournament, the question I have is, why did they wait until the day of the event to move it online? It's not like the pandemic caught everybody off guard. Both the COD League and the Challengers League moved all of their remaining tournaments online months ago. Why couldn't AGN do the same? And remember, a representative of Activision reached out to AGN, which, according to their statement, is why they decided to move the tournament online. And that's a pretty big red flag, because to me what that says is that AGN was fully prepared to host a pretty big LAN event in the middle of a pretty dangerous public health crisis. And the only reason they didn't is because Activision, well, stepped in and told them not to. Because let's be honest, when you plan to host a LAN event in the middle of a giant global health crisis, you are putting people in danger. Now, I have no idea if AGN is going to take disciplinary action against the players who did show up to this secret tournament. Also, Cash, who if you remember is a co-founder of AGN, retweeted somebody comparing the multiple worldwide human rights protests with these tournaments, implying that if one is allowed to happen, these tournaments should also be allowed to happen. And yeah, I don't know if that's it, Chief. If AGN knowingly hosted this secret LAN event after saying it was going online, that's fucked up and they put people in danger. And if that's the case, I hope Activision Blizzard takes action against these guys. The first few months of this pandemic, I was fucking all over the place. Like mentally, physically, I was kind of lost. And, you know, recently I feel like I finally got my footing under me and I'm doing better. Yeah, but I'm still fucking a little loopy. This week has been fucking insane. Short weeks, like I said, are just not, I don't like them.